Good afternoon, everybody. I think it's afternoon now. As you probably heard from Gary a little while ago, he and Bill Daley did deliver a new proposal dealing principally with core economic matters today. It's not short, and there were some explanatory documents that we still have to wade through. And so the process that we're going to engage in now, as you might expect, is to make sure that we read it completely and thoroughly, that we understand it, that we understand what it would mean in connection with the existing proposals that the NHL has and the existing proposals we have on the table. Then obviously what we will do is discuss it internally with our own negotiating committee and executive board, and then get back together with the NHL. Whether that getting back together with them will take place later today or tomorrow, exactly when it will be, I don't know. I expect it'll be sooner rather than later, having said that. So we'll have to take a look at how that works. We're always happy to receive a proposal. We're always going to study it. Gary indicated to me, and I suspect he indicated to you, that they would still like to get a full 82-game season in. We, of course, share that view and would like to get a full 82-game season in. And so what our hope is that after we review this, that there will be a feeling on the player side that this is a proposal from which we can negotiate and try and reach a conclusion. But we're not in a position to make any comments about it beyond that at this point. So that's where we are in essence.
Mr. Bettman didn't say final offer here, so are you encouraged by that as well?
Look, whenever you make an offer in bargaining, especially one in the midst of a dispute where you have a lockout in place, you make an offer, you expect discussions, you expect further negotiation. I wouldn't have anticipated he would say that.
Do you see this as an improvement, at least, on what they've tabled prior to this?
In some respects, I think it is. In other respects, I'm not sure, but we have to look at it in detail. I don't want to reach an overall conclusion until we've had an opportunity to do that kind of review. It's unfair to the process, and the players would like me to be for sure I know what I'm talking about before I say that.
Is there anything to be read into the fact that it wasn't dismissed outright, right away?
I would caution you not to read anything into my comments beyond what I have said. Okay? I would like to believe, and that after we're done with this, as I said, that it'll be an excellent starting point, and we can go forward and see if there's a deal to be made. But I'm not commenting at all on the specifics of it.
Did you have any indication they were coming with a proposal today? Or?
No specific indication, no. No, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we were surprised by it. In bargaining, sometimes somebody says, I'll have a proposal, and other times they just have it, and it works that way on both sides. Yes?
At the same time, did that proposal address what the players were looking for in the players' rights? That was an issue.
That is still something that I'm going to have to go through and make sure we understand. I'm not prepared to comment on it yet. The proposal does have in it a number of things which relate to their player contracting proposals, but I don't want to comment on them or what our reaction to them would be until we really understand it.
Is it possible to have a 50-50 split and have escrow remain unchanged?
Not without having very large escrow in the early years.
Don, did you see anything in those early years that suggests contracts would be honored without having to go into a really big escrow?
We haven't been able to run any numbers yet, much less formulate a response. I really don't want to comment on it. It'd be unfair, and I think counterproductive to do that. Okay?
Do you see the possibility this to jumpstart some negotiations maybe and have more give and take?
Well, I've been looking for a way to get these negotiations jump-started, and if this does it, that'd be great. We'll see, though.
You got any calls from any players today?
Have I? Yes. I get calls from players all the time, and I'm reasonably certain, since this day is not likely to be different than others, that there will be a number that have come in while I'm down here with all of you. And a number of players will ask why I'm not returning their calls. They seem to think I work for them, so we will see.
Are you,
Okay.
Are you
Sorry.
encouraged by this?
It's always good to get another proposal, and I hope after we digest it, we'll think it's a place from which we can go forward. I'm just not prepared to come in on it beyond that yet.
Given that they did provide a proposal, would you feel obligated to come back with something or some kind of response? Or?
If there's a response that we can make that will advance the process, of course we will.
Or is there a case where you might not, where you might just say thank you?
I'm not going to speculate on that at all until we've had an opportunity to go through it.
So where do you go
Yeah.
with your Don?
I go back upstairs, I assemble my staff, and we begin to go through the proposal point by point, and then we begin to reach out to the players and talk to them and figure out what we do from here.
So they're likely not getting more meetings with the other side today.
I don't know that yet. I mean, it could be that there'll be a bunch of questions. It could also well be that we'll have telephone contact. I just don't know yet.
Don, did you see this coming today? Did you see this coming?
I did not know specifically that it was coming. As I indicated before, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It's not surprising that you get a proposal you didn't know about.
Did the proposal include an expiry as the previous one did?
My memory is that it's predicated on a full season, which they believe must start by early November if you're going to do that. That's what they said.
Gary mentioned long term. Can you at least tell us how long the deal?
Long term?
Term on the deal. Is there any term attached to it?
Yes, but I'm not sure precisely what it is. It's at least 6 years in their proposal. Yes.